Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing.
1, 2, 1, 2.
Testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Good, good.
All good, mate. Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Cool. I published the wrong score. Sorry, I published the 2 minutes late.
Cold Saturday night in the southeast of Melbourne, and it really feels as though winter is setting in. It's two clubs who are hoping for big things for the rest of 2025. It's Dandenong Thunder and Hume City. Of course, last time the two teams met here, Lloyd Isgrove was the story, a late stoppage time winner. Right at the start of last season, he was again in the reverse fixture when he got a brace against this Thunder team, and it feels as though the hosts will have to keep him quiet if there are any chance. The Thunder have improved week on week. A poor result for them last time out, though, in the league against Green Gully. And they're looking to bounce back from that tonight, back at home against the team from Broadmeadows. It's Saturday Night Football on the NPL Victoria YouTube channel. Thank you for your company, and we hope you're having a good Saturday wherever you may be tuning in from. It's Oliver Walker-Peel and Neil Simon's here with you at George Andrews Reserve for the Dandenong Thunder and Hume City. Good evening to you, Neil.
Miraculous 3-2 victory at home in the Doherty Cup earlier this week.
let's go to the teams then, and there's a couple of changes apiece for both sides. For the Dandenong Thunder, it's Jamie Young in goal, Jay Romanovsky, Mercer Mehmeti, Thijs van Amerongen, and Daniel Alessi will make up the back four. Daniel Alessi is in for Jock Akuan. There's two changes from their most recent clash for the Dandenong Thunder. In the midfield, Kyle Taylor will be joined by Sevdim Ismaili and Mohamed Solomovsky, who comes in for Liram Almazi. Daniel Clark will be in the front three alongside Yuki Ishida and Hassan Jallo. For Hume, of course, we've mentioned already, almost at length, the game against Oakley. They'll go in goal with Damon Camilleri, who starts for a second straight game, a back four of Joseph Ford, Dennis Yildiz, Harry Ashcroft, and Josh O'Kane, who comes in for Mark Ochieng. Dennis Yildiz is in for Aisin Ishak. Midfield three of Aaron Reardon, Birkin Kirdar, and Josh Bingham, with Lloyd Isgrove, Michael Dunphy, and Gobri Debele, who was the hero of the game against the Cannons in the front three for Hume. A couple of ex-Thunder players in this Hume team as well as we get this one underway. An intriguing Saturday night clash is afoot here at George Andrews Reserve. These two teams always put up wonderful clashes when they meet. There's been a couple of high-octane games and some late thrills and spills. Are we set for the same tonight?
Oh, yes. And I think considering this is just about the longest away trip in the NPL Victoria, aside from maybe Green Gully up against Dandenong Thunder or Dandenong City, the fact that there are two ex-Dandenong Thunder players lining up for Hume tonight is a real testament to the resilience of both respective players, Denis Yildiz and Birkan Kirda, for trying to advance in their footballing careers, perhaps, but that's not reflective in the ladders whatsoever. With the Dandenong Thunder mounting up the table, Hume City just languishing around that sixth spot at the moment, but a few promising weeks ahead for them could lead to bucket loads of success. And of course, most notably, Michael Domfe starting tonight, NPL 2 or VPL 1 top goal scorer last season with Northcote City, just about 16 goals or so will provide some dynamism and an enormous opportunity for him to stake his claim tonight.
I don't want to correct you for correction's sake, but I just want to exacerbate your point. There's three ex-Thunder players out there with Harry Ashcroft. Assume get things going, try and send it into the middle, but it's a point well made that it's not a path well travelled, or not at least before David Chick got involved. You followed him from Thunder to Hume as Rashida rolled it down the line, got it to Jallo. Lose out here, the Thunder. Reardon, clever flick in field from Michael Domfe. Opens the game up for Bingham. Rolled it right. Chance here for Ford. Swept in first time from Gobri Debele, and meet and drink for Jamie Young, who is able to claim.
What a night for him on Tuesday night. Godfrey Dembele scored the would-be winner for Hume City against the Oakley Cannons, and they'll have a chance of securing cup football for the first time since 2021. The last time they faced off in the Australia Cup national rounds. At that point, Noel Bernardo was playing for Hume City. I bet you forgot about that. Of course, he himself also an ex-Dandy Thunder product at one point in his career.
Went across from Thunder to Hume for that cup run.
Yeah.
Had a couple of games, was infamously sent off, and then that was rescinded. It's rolled forward for Ashida. It's found by Ismaili, it's driven in low. Helps high and away. Alessi, the former Akoa man, over to keep it in play, but he's gone forward and left some space behind for Lloyd Isgrove to charge into. Alessi back on terms. Isgrove from distance. He spooned it and sent it over the top.
I think this is one of the most intriguing clashes in terms of the foreigners on both sides. And the names that stick out on the team sheet, Isgrove and, of course, Kyle Taylor. I mean, both of them came from playing League One football in England directly to the NPL. Lloyd Isgrove only had a few appearances in the season prior when he was at Bolton Wanderers. Kyle Taylor, a full 24 odd appearances with Exeter City last season in League One, which is tremendous.
32 all comps the season before last in 23-24. So the season before the one that's currently concluding with the playoffs and such.
Yes.
He was 32 times all comps. 24 of those were in the league.
Yeah, which is crazy, and it speaks to sort of his ambitions of coming to Australia for, I guess, a better life, a better footballing career, and a better lifestyle. I mean, it's much better than England, Ollie,
well,
in my opinion.
I can contest.
Of course. And we see Hume City look to make a foray down that right flank. Of course, another player who's played plenty of time in Europe is Joseph Ford, who's at Waterford in the League of Ireland Premier Division, and the ones that got promoted from the second tier over there. Of course, Hume City no stranger to having ex-League of Ireland players, including the likes of Dylan McGlade in past years gone by. Here's Joseph Ford now. Short for Josh Bingham. Sit kindly for Kyle Taylor. Looks to leave it away past Hassan Jallo. Firmly in the golden boost race is Hassan Jallo, who cheaply gives it away. And now back to Joseph Ford. Solitary cap for the Young Socceroos. That squad, most recent squad announced this week as well. Down that left flank, Isgrove looks to fashion one in towards the back stick. It will be claimed by Jamie Young. Of course, his two former sides, Melbourne City and Western United, going to battle tonight as well. Jallo in space. He's got Jay Romanovsky to his left. And bypasses with ease Joseph Ford. Romanovsky still going. Dembele for support. He goes to ground. And a referee judges a free kick, but 5 yards from the byline. And a yellow card to Godfrey Dembele, the Queenslander. So a crucial darting run down that left flank from Jay Romanovsky, the teenager. Or switching across from the Port Melbourne Sharks a few seasons ago. Coached by Adam Pittock at the time. We'll see the free kick from Mehmeti, his brother Medine, on the bench for Melbourne City tonight. So one of the rare occasions of which both brothers are in action in different divisions.
It was good endeavour from Godfrey Dembele to get back, but it's just a little bit clumsy in the challenge. Presents the opportunity for Kyle Taylor. You'd think he's one of the two standing over the ball.
Oh, yes.
Unless he decides to leave it for Mercer Mehmeti. Two decent players to have over a dead ball.
Oh, most definitely. And, of course, a few injuries for the Thunder. Suleimani still out. Aiden Edwards as well. So can Kyle Taylor provide a resulting free kick? And it's tipped over. Oh, Damon Camilleri from State League 1 all the way to the NPL Victoria. That is a crucial save, which has kept things at level pegging at the moment. And we'll see Mehmeti take the resulting corner.
It's a really smart stop by Damon Camilleri. Looked like that was labelled for the top corner, but good stop by Camilleri to keep it out. Can't prevent the corner though.
In by Mehmeti. Clean backwards header by Josh Bingham. And coming to retrieve will be one. Hume City. Here is Yuki Uchida. Into feet now. A comfortable retrieve. Mohamed Selamovsky, primarily on the bench this season. Litany of Dandenong Thunder youth products. And that's what has been the sort of the mainstay within this new era, I suppose, under Adam Pittock, is the regimented nature in which several youth players are still able to integrate themselves within this system. And so too the same for Hume City, the likes of Josh O'Kane and a number of others.
Thunder throw. Free tonight is Terry Constantelos. He's just trying to make sure that everything's in order before this ball gets back in play.
Ollie, I can't say I've seen this in the NPL Victoria in my time, ever. An iPad on the bench. Usually that's a thing we see in the A-League. I do see John O'Clemente, the Hume City assistant, watching the game on his iPad. Maybe he sees things we don't. I don't know.
Has been a bit of a trailblazer, John O'Clemente, in Victorian football, so not a surprise that maybe he's making things happen here as well. He's done some wonderful things in the women's game.
Mm-hmm.
And now, perhaps a new innovation in the men's game too, which we don't mind. It's clip forward from Ashcroft, too long for the run of Godfrey Dembele, and through to Jamie Young. Rashida letting the ball run across his body. Cross for Kyle Taylor, the Bournemouth Academy graduate. And Clark. Taylor with the outside of the foot, a bit audacious and ambitious, too long for everybody in red and black.
Here's Isgrove, heavy touch. Spray a ball wide. Almost a well-weighted switch, but we'll sit kindly for Alessi. Here's Taylor. Alessi. Well, that's a poor giveaway nearly towards Isgrove. Here's Maley. Back to Jamie Young. big cup match for the Thunder this Tuesday night against Whittlesea United, of course. They were the ones who knocked out Preston in the cup a few weeks back. So it will be a test for sure. From my memory, oh, dearie me. Michael Lazarus with a back pass, and that's gone out. Well, out of play for a corner. And it looks like Hume City's coaching staff are incensed, although no words from Riccardo Marchioli. That is extremely poor from Michael Lazarus. Perhaps a means of trying to get some more experience in this competition. The youngster Michael Lazarus.
For appearance number 2 tonight.
Baptism of fire for sure for him, and a nervy moment for the youngster. Fashioning towards the back stick. Sit kindly, but I think that ball went out of play, and it will be a goal kick. Well, it's been one weekend of NPL football, Ollie. I mean, results to be expected across the pyramid at the moment. I suppose the pressing issue really for these two sides is squad rotation, squad readiness ahead of what might promise to be a very heavy schedule in the next few months with cup action, potentially in the national rounds for both of these sides. It really posits an interesting equation as we go into the colder months in Victoria. And I guess for the Thunder, they're not really renowned for their deep squad. If they were to accumulate more injuries, it could really derail their season, in my view.
Lassie all the way back to Young. Line blocks, had a play by DeBelli. Ball forwards. Harper's there. Just to complete the housekeeping from the lineups point of view, there was 3 changes in fact for Hume, with Lazarus in for Birkenkerda. Holding field for Taylor. Sending Ismaili to his right. So he's shaping up to send it in. Towards the back post it goes, over the head of Jallo. Almost broke for him. It's away as far as Taylor. Moves it left for Jay Romanovsky. Romanovsky tries to turn his man. Sets the turf, but nothing doing as the crossfield switch might work for Isgrove, who scampers to keep it alive, and does. Isgrove having a run at Daniel Alessi, shapes it across, didn't clear the front post, bounces back to the one-time Welsh international, who digs out across, gets it into the middle, chested away, and Thunder should be able to get this one clear. Sheeda, he goes over, that's a foul. And as Yildiz, the former Thunder man, the offender there.
I just sense a bit of trepidation from Hume City at the back. They seem very much at ease, uneasy, should I say? The opposite of at ease, to be honest with you. I just get the feeling as if the Dandenong Thunder can strike at any moment. And they've definitely utilised the width of this pitch to full effect. And Yuki Uchida is a crucial cog in that machine. So we do see now Alessi. Young. Out wide to Rise Van Amerongen. Of course, given the captain's armband in place of Ari Soleimani. I'm sure the story's been repeated many times, but he was playing in Metro Nines at one point. That's a poor giveaway. Finds his way towards Godfrey Dembele. Bingen looks to fashion one in. As he does win it back. his early 30s, Josh Bingham. It's hard to believe he's been at this club since 2020, just about. Of course, a COVID-interrupted season that was, but he's been Mr. Hume City ever since he left the Central Coast Mariners. And deservedly so, has received much acclaim across the league, but I think doesn't really get the credit he deserves, Ollie, all the time, to be perfectly honest with you.
Probably will once his stay at Hume ends, whenever that is. We hope it's not for a while, but sometimes it is harder to appreciate players while you've still got them and you still get the chance to watch them week to week. Isgrove almost caught on it once and then twice by Ishida. Taking the devastating sorry approach, Michael Lazarus. From short for Taylor, who gives it back to Seb Ismaili. The intended recipients of the direct instructions from Adam Piddick to get forward. Now in the corner. Goes back O'Kane. Ismaili. Arc it down the line for Taylor. Shoot it to his right. Taylor will use him. First time ball into the middle. Defended at the front post. As Kyle Taylor. Roll it short for Ishida. From the Northcote man will get in towards the back post. Teasing delivery, which Yildiz will eventually deal with. Or a bobble in the 6-yard box. A bit of pinball, if you like. Trying to play for a Hume throw after a horrible forward from Seb Ismaili.
Kyle Taylor, so intelligent, reading the play with ease on the right edge of the area and playing the ball directly to Uchida at the right time. And that's what experience at the top level, and quite literally the top level, will do for you, having spent much of his youth career with AFC Bournemouth and of course just had the one cup appearance. In 2018, 45 minutes. Who lined up for Brighton and Hove Albion that day? Griffin Jokeres. Because of course he did. The NPL Victoria. Provide all these incredible stories as producer the aforementioned Taylor looked to go on a run, approaching the D region. Anthony with a defensive reprieve and unleashes Domfe. Here's Dembele. Feeds it to Michael Domfe. Very deep though. Hume City's attacking half, and Terry Constandelos draws it back for a free kick. Josh O'Kane to take. Rolls it short to Joseph Ford, of course. An ex-Perth Glory youth product, 17 appearances, and of course made his debut against the Victory in the Australia Cup in 2021 when Melbourne Victory decided to field the NPL team for the entirety of the early stages of that competition and somehow won the entire thing. Isgrove feeds it in field, good touch towards Domfe, approaching the byline, forced wide and rolls it back towards Josh Bingham. Fluidity of the front three of Hume City emphasised. It's fashioned in Dembele. Header is wide. That was a good delivery from Aaron Reardon. He likes to drop into that number 6 role. Very much befitting the shirts as well.
Ismaili, also Ishida. Well defended there by Aaron Reardon. Thunder bench didn't agree with that. Terry Constandelos didn't see anything wrong with it.
Adam Piddick is very much unhappy with that, asking if we're playing basketball or not.
He's a passionate manager.
I mean, there is a basketball ring in George Andrews Reserve. You have to drive in across the basketball ring to get into the ground, so who knows?
Superimpose the court maybe onto this one. It's just a giveaway there from Taylor. Yildiz for Lazarus. Goes to Camilleri. Forwards. Too long. Young has made over 250 club career appearances in Australian football, the majority of those in the A-Leagues. Leicester United, Melbourne City, some of his employers as it's out down the line. For Daniel Clark. He rolled it in field. First touch. Romanovsky needs to get it away.
I say, Thijs van Amerongen, very, very comfortable on the ball. And for someone that came from Metro 2 Southeast, obviously I know that's not where he played most of his career, played in the second division of Cyprus at one point. He's been a tremendous signing for this side. All credit really goes to Adam Piddick and his coaching staff for bringing him in and essentially making him one of the best central defenders in this competition in the first 15 rounds or so.
Came across from Swinburne, who've been more than happy to claim him as their own. As you would.
I would claim him for sure.
You would, of course you would. Doesn't quite tell you the whole story that he came 9 divisions up, but
not at all.
It is a true one nonetheless, as Ashida takes the advantage from the referee and rolls it right for Jallo, has his Melee on the overlap if he wants, and gives it to it. First time ball is blocked out of play. Azaris and for a corner.
Well, Andy O'Dell, Thunder's assistant coach, also voicing his frustrations, so very much evenly poised in his opening 20 minutes or so, and we will see Nassim Mehmeti take the resulting corner kick on this near side.
Former Australian Youth International himself, played under 17 level. Have the chance to send this corner in. Holds one arm aloft and floats it in. Back post! Off the chest and behind. Took a deflection off a Thunder player next, of a Hume player next, I should say, behind for a corner. So, a couple of opportunities here for Dandenong Thunder. We will face Whittlesea United in the Cup here next week. That's not the same Whittlesea that Ange Postecoglou made his name, or maybe not made his name, given that he was relegated there, but coached at. Of course, the man who won the Europa League with Tottenham during the week. Taylor will send this one. It's a deep ball, right-footed to the back post. Flicked away by Zaris and then sent towards the corner flag and behind by Godfrey de Belle for a third successive Thunder corner.
Crowd beginning to build up here as well, which is always good to see. Hopefully, for Dandenong Thunder's case, they can urge their side to victory.
Mehmeti sends it in towards the back post. Headed back towards the taker. Flying away as the dugout needs some running repairs after that. Play for throw, which Mohamed Solomovsky has taken from about a mile back from where it went out of play, which I think would disadvantage the Thunder taking it from there, but been recalled.
Taylor, heavy touch, Ismaili. Alessi. Has himself plenty of experience within the A-Leagues with the Western Sydney Wanderers under Tony Popovich. Also had a brief stint at Hereford in the UK as well, prior to returning to Australia with the likes of Blacktown City. And as you mentioned, Hakoah, Sydney City East.
I mentioned it before you would.
Yes.
It was absolutely unbackable that you were going to get a mention of Hakoah in anytime you can.
2-0 win.
You work there and whatnot.
2-0 win against Dulwich Hill tonight. And I think it's actually an important point to make that not many players make the move across from New South Wales to Victoria to play football. Of course, the NPL New South Wales is at a certain standard, and why move here? But of course, the quality here is better at the end of the day, Ollie, according to some and mostly Victorians.
There'll be some angry inboxes from those over state, angry DMs in your inbox from those over state borders.
The Australia Cup results do not lie, Ollie. The 5th spot was allocated to Victoria for a reason.
I'll let you put your neck on the line.
Absolutely.
Yildiz down the line with the throw, flicked on by Bingham towards Isgrove. Unless he got a foot in, and sliding in Selimovsky, and eventually via Thijs van Amerongen, it goes all the way back to Jamie Young. Of course, it is the centre of the universe. Warren Moon said so, so that's the only source we need. Down the line. Mercer Mehmeti. Needs to find a teammate that he wanted, but out of play for Hume throw.
Very interested to see how Aaron Reardon deals playing in that number 6 role in possession. Of course, has a lot of experience coming off essentially an A-League gig with the Brisbane Roar. Obviously spent last season at Gold Coast Knights in that absolutely stacked team it was, including the likes of Joel Russell. That's a great switch towards Isgrove, but with too much energy on it, and he was caught offside in the end.
Godfrey DeBelle too, by the way.
Yeah, of course, Godfrey DeBelle.
I wonder if Rick Marchioli's scouting network was specifically sent to the Goldie just to watch.
Well, he did not sign Xander Guy.
No.
And, of course, he's since retired, but, of course, a litany of players have played for Gold Coast Knights that have previously played in the Isuzu Youth A-League, including Sam Klein, who I believe was the top goal scorer, named in the under-23s as well, which is a tremendous effort from that football club. I mean, we might actually see them in the national second tier, the Australian Championship, if they were to win the NPL Queensland Premiership and face off against South Melbourne.
Didn't they get a much needed win on Friday night, by the way?
That's an enormous result for themselves. And I'm sure their resulting home match against both of these sides will sort of set the stage for how they might finish this season. As you do see Josh O'Kane with a heavy touch. Ashcroft. His formative days in this league were spent at this ground. DeBelle. Oh, blistering pace and bypasses Mercy Mehmeti and will find space on the right flank for Michael Domfe. Towards the touchline, he's got DeBelle for support. Approaching the D region. DeBelle still going, and he's brought to ground. Terry Constandelos doesn't judge it to be a penalty, and to say his calls for calm from Rick Marchioli have not reflected the outcome at the moment, as we do see him in a fit of anger at the moment. I'm not quite sure if that was enough for a penalty.
It's a thankless job being a referee, isn't it? Switch of play for Isgrove, who took it out of the sky superbly. Goes by Ashida. Goes from across from deep. It's too long. One of the rare occasions where we've seen a player play in the NPL Men's Victoria that has played in the Premier League. Lloyd Isgrove made the one substitute appearance against Liverpool back in 2014.
And Southampton Youth Academy at that time. James Ward-Prowse. A litany of incredible players. Of course, had Virgil van Dijk at one point. And
not that he was in their academy.
no, of course, yes. And plenty of others that have come through that system over there in England. And of course, there's a few academy products that have played at Premier League clubs that have played across the league. I guess Josh Wallen was one at QPR at one point. Of course, George Mells at South Melbourne. And Carl Taylor as well.
It's rolled forward for Ashida. It was well played by Seven Ismaila to find him. A first-time ball to the back post. Too long. Romanovsky twisting and turning at the edge of the box. Can he fashion a cross? He can win a corner. That's clearly what Adam Pinnock sees in him. Fullback who can burst forward and create for you. He's allowed the chance for Kyle Taylor to try and weave some magic here.
Taylor with the resulting set piece. His deliveries have to be a little bit flatter if they want any route towards goal. I think his last one was slightly overhit. But we'll see what he can deliver from this position. It's Kyle Taylor. Towards the back stick.
Pose, shouts for handball, nothing doing. Ashida charged down by Godfrey DeBelle. Wide from Solomovsky. Ashida wanted a cross, couldn't find it. But it frustrated that the Thunder have been forced back inside their own half. Young, Ashida with a great first touch. He moves in field, away from O'Kane, still Yuki Ashida, and still skips through the middle of a couple, gets the shooting chance but drags it wide. Good play there from Yuki Ashida until the final moment.
Of course, he's actually facing off against his former Northcote City teammate, Michael Domfe. Had a great season last campaign. Did Northcote, of course, just narrowly missing out on promotion to the top tier, alongside Preston and the Melbourne Victory NPL side. And has definitely taken a road more or less unforeseen, formerly of the Sliema Wanderers in the Maltese Premier League. And I'm sure Harry Ashcroft and him will have a very nice discussion about that post-game, as he spent some time with Balzan in the past. Did Mr. Harry Ashcroft. Here's Joseph Ford. On that right flank, O'Kane deep. Foe drifting in to midfield. Lazarus. Yildiz. Toing and throwing with Debele. He's got two Thunder players for support. Debele drifting on his right foot, and I'm not entirely sure if that was a shot or a cross, but judging upon the manner in which that ball was fashioned, I would have to assume that was a shot and drifting well wide of the goal. And Hume City just haven't found that final touch to go with it. And it seems as if there's a lot of aimless balls to the left to right flanks, and of course they're interchanging that front three, Bingham, Domfe, Isgrove. It's been fascinating to see how Rick Marchioli is switching his players across the night. There's a long ball delivered over the top, directed towards Hassan Jallo, who wins the ball. And play adjudged to continue. It's Jallo driving on that right flank, fashioned in towards the back stick. No one there aside from Joseph Ford, but last touch came off Jay Romanovsky and out for a goal kick.
You say that Hume haven't been able to find it. It's probably fair to say that the Thunder have had the same problems. It's been a game that's been lacking in terms of quality in the final third. Both ends of the pitch. Lots of quality. Both camps though, and I think that will change across the next hour of football. The lack of goals, that is. Sends it long up and over halfway. Throw for Hume. Made 63 appearances from 2020 to 2023 here. Harry Ashcroft in the league. 4 goals in that time. Ashcroft can't have it back. Ball across for Taylor, who scampers forwards, rolls it right for Ashida, who checks in field. One way then the other. Yuki Ashida blazes it over the top. Massive chance goes begging. Did well to display a bit of composure initially, but not so when he fired the shot on goal.
Oozes class and quality, does the Japanese import. They just couldn't find the all-important ball towards the near post. It looked like at the very least. And Hume City, I think, just have to retain a stranglehold over that midfield. Josh O'Kane, who did score in the cup midweek, has to get on the ball more. I'm sure that'll be a directive from Hume's coaching staff. Isgrove, judged to be onside at the moment. And shot is blocked, flashing in yet again, and Jamie Young to claim.
Just in one of the rare footballing laws or quirks that you can't be offside from a goal kick. Lloyd Isgrove, given his upbringing in Premier League academies, knew that.
I'm sure. I'm surprised Esteban Quintas didn't try something like that at South Melbourne, to be honest with you. But I guess perhaps a tactical quirk from Riccardo Marchioli, who, well, is the, I guess, tactical mastermind at Hume City. Spoke at length of his experience with meeting Ange Postecoglou midweek post Tottenham's Europa League victory. Debele driving down that touchline. Zelemovsky does diligently well. Thunder regain possession now on that far side. Space infield for Daniel Clark now. Jallo brought to ground. Constantelos judges play to continue just on halfway now. Was Lazarus. Yildiz returning to the club after more than 5 years away from Hume City, and of course spent a season here at George Andrews Reserve. Stints with Bentley Greens as well. Ball towards Michael Donfe, a tug of the shirt upon Daniel Alessi, but Constandelos dodges play to reset. And in terms of the approach of both managers, Marchioli cutting a very diligently minded, soft-spoken individual on the touchline. Piddick is very, very much a manager who likes to bark instructions, demand a fixated system from his players. It's an interesting contrast, I have to say, especially from this vantage point where we are.
Clark. Back on the ball here. Minovsky able to fully get that one under his spell. To play towards Dennis Yildiz, who wants the early ball in. She was a bit frothy after blocking that one behind. The side the Thunder would want to see, given how lively he's been in this one. For DeBello. Wait short for the potential option. The short corner. As Grove looks longer. It's flicked on. Bouncing around in the 6-yard box. Not definitively clear. Yildiz might have a hit. It was blocked by Shallow. Back out wide for Lloyd Isgrove, who sends it in. Flicked on by DeBelle, but watching that all the way, able to get his body behind it.
It's been very smooth sailing at the back from the Thunder at the moment, but really just can't put a finger on it as to which side are going to take the ascendancy at this point in time. Both sides pretty evenly matched in terms of both results and calibre on the park, on paper at the very least, but the Thunder are certainly punching above their weight, it has to be said, this season. Now towards Van Amerongen. Shifting it out left. Selemovsky. Shape one in, directed towards Daniel Clark, and Ashcroft deals with it cleanly, although he's given it away cheaply. Towards Jallo, entering the 6-yard box. Uchida twisting, twirling. Taylor with space. He's twirling on his left. This is delightful stuff. And he goes to ground in the D region. And it might be a chance for Hume to counter. Here's DeBelle. Isgrove chasing down this near side. Donfe waiting in the middle. It's Godfrey DeBelle. It's over the bar, and it's hit a tree for good measure.
It's got to the final third. Both sides have not shown their best, it's fair to say. Case in point there from Godfrey DeBelle, who is capable. No doubt about that, but let's keep that one down. I mentioned a couple of times how stacked with talent these two teams are, particularly attacking areas, but not sure you'd know it if you just watched these 37.5 minutes in a vacuum.
I wouldn't say it's reflective of that. I just think it's sort of the approach from both managers. I think it's very much not a high-tempo game to which we've seen from Dandenong Thunder. They typically like to go out of the blocks quickly. They know they're more or less undermanned, and it's about, I guess, conserving energy for the latter stages of this game. They know that they can take the bull by the horns, but Hume City have proven a side difficult to break down in recent weeks as well. Just a narrow loss to Preston last week.
Bit of frustration from the Thunder fans as well. It's cut out by Ismaili. Isgrove. Central towards Bingham, under hit. Leslie stepping in. That's halfway it goes. It's rolled forward, and Clark is looking for the run of Hassan Jallo. Couldn't get through. Okay. In behind towards Bingham. A chance in behind for Josh Bingham. Behind for a corner. Couldn't make Mohamed Solomovsky pay. Sliced at the clearance he tried, but a clearance that never eventuated. Bingham allowed in behind, and he maybe should have done better.
That was a golden opportunity for Josh Bingham. You have to bury those chances. You have to. A man with just about 50-odd goals for this club. This would have been one of the most crucial on the foray and trajectory of their campaign. But a mammoth opportunity from the corner now.
Yildiz is over to take it. Again, DeBelle waits short. It's going to be ignored again. Yildiz, a long ball. Isgrove stealing in. His ball across didn't quite work out as intended or as hoped. His intentions were clear, but execution not quite there.
Out towards Taylor. Dropping deep to receive. Wichita. Yildiz also dropping into midfield in possession, so it looks like very much a hybrid shift from Riccardo Marchioli's side at the very least. Now, Alessi, lateral pass. Taylor, Jallo on running, and he looks to bypass Michael Lazaris. Jallo across the face to no one in pursuit. Isgro will pick up the scraps on this near touchline. Short, Domfe, that's clean. Isgrove will go on a bit of a run here, but that's a mammoth challenge from Sevdim Ismaili. Will instill confidence within his Dandenong Thunder side when you clatter into that player with wealth of experience and one of the most fine footballers we've seen in our great competition in Lloyd Isgrove. Alessi, Young, Van Amerongen. Just past halfway now is Jay Romanovsky and Joseph Ford making clean work of it, and he's quite matured into the diligent and incredible footballer that we've seen Jay Romanovsky over the last few seasons. And has more than earned his starting place. Young, Van Amerongen, flat back three it seems for the Thunder in possession. Taylor, deep to receive, will drive, space to his right, saved him Ismaili, poked through towards Uchida, has space to work with, short, Kyle Taylor! That was clever, the execution, yet again, tame.
Kyle Taylor with more time than he thought probably. Had the time to take the touch if he wanted, which he didn't. Adam Piddick has got a bit to be happy with as he thinks about the half-time team talk he'll deliver in a few minutes. Larry up over halfway. Taylor, Shida, shallow in the vicinity, but breaks kindly for Yuki Yoshida. Post to Dennis Yildiz. Tries to go with the body feint. Yuki Yoshida into the middle. Dangerous ball. Just set high from Ashcroft. And should help it away and does it towards halfway. Played by Domfe. Who was held back by Daniel Alessi. Ready to take this from just back of halfway. Ashcroft, former A-League's talents combining there as he arcs it down the line. Bingham to chase, pulled off by Van Amerongen. Behind for a goal kick.
One of the more tamer halves and poorer halves, I guess, to watch from a viewer standpoint in the NPL Victoria, but I think the second half will very much be anything but what we saw in these first 45, but anything can change. Hume mounting the press. Jamie Young forced to play it wide. Selimovsky is changing on that far side. Infield, Clark. Nutmegs, Aaron Reardon. And here's Kyle Taylor. Springing his step. Got space to his right. Ismaili. Will he look to fashion in a delivery here? He doesn't. Laterally finds Kyle Taylor. Whisking and weaving. Surrounding the 18-yard box is Yuki Uchida. Ismaili. Back for Taylor. Uchida once again. Just trying to find the requisite options. And the gaps to Pierce. Uchida. Ismaili dropping into midfield now. And will they reset the Thunder or continue the charge? They will. Romanovsky. And possession is lost. 1 minute of added time in this first half. Bingham. Dropping deep to receive. Asking plenty of Michael Domfe, who is offside.
What you make about this being that the football that has been a little bit lacklustre in parts and not been the best we've seen. Of course, Australian rules fans of a certain vintage will remember Name the Game, where you could go back and grab the DVD of the barn burners and the thrillers. I'm not sure this half will live long in the memory.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure this goes in NPL Victoria folklore, but it has been a very intriguing tactical battle. Both sides have had strong periods in possession. I'm sure that'll be a focal point going into the second half.
Field down the inside left channel for Romanovsky, away by Ashcroft. Bingham, and that'll do, says Terry Constandelos. First half run and done from George Andrews' reserve. And I don't think we know much more about these two teams now than we did 45 minutes ago. A couple of chances for Kyle Taylor and Yuki Yoshida that have gone over the crossbar. Godfrey DeBelle likewise fired one over the top as he was making a way forward. A lot of attacking talent on both sides. We haven't quite seen the best of it in this first 45. Half time from George Andrews. It's the Dandenong Thunder 0, Hume City 0. Welcome back to George Andrews Reserve. It's 0-0 between the Dandenong Thunder and Hume City off the back of first half that left wanting, I think, in a lot of areas. Lack of quality inside both final thirds. It's something that you would think would have to change going into the second 45, given the players at the respective teams' disposals. Although, what we've seen in the first 45 was a whole lot of nothing, in truth. Oliver Walker-Peel and Neil Simons here with you. And Neil, it's quite hard to sum up what we've seen in the first 45 because there wasn't a whole lot that really went on.
Yeah, not really, to be honest with you. I think both sides had chances rude in many respects. I think Josh Bingham had to score that opportunity in that latter. Looks like as if it's going to be swinging towards the way of the home side. Might need to get a blade of grass and see where it goes, but I'm pretty sure...
You can look at the tree just there, and that I think I'll tell you every single story.
Oh, yes. Yes, it will.
Blowing right to left, so the end that the Thunder are attacking. Will that make a difference?
I think it will, and we'll see as to how that will change potential outcomes. Godfrey Debele stands over the ball. Terry Constandelos blows his whistle, and our second half here at George Andrews Reserve is underway. Domvay heads on, Bingham as well. Cleared away, heavy touch by Reardon. Clark in space. Drifts away, back towards, saved in Ismaili, should I say Mersim Mehmeti? Van Amerongen, now Young. Switches it out wide. That's intelligently done. Flipped over the top by Ismaili. Uchida. And Reardon able to get it clear, of course. He was actually coached by Adam Piddock at Port Melbourne. What a great team that was back in the day. Unheralded players at that time, likes of Aaron Reardon, Ross Archibald, Jackson Courtney Perkins, Daniel Edwards, Andrew Withers, who actually signed for the Dandenong Thunder prior to the season commencing, and well, when Jamie Young becomes available, you can't really say no. Well dealt with by the away side, O'Kane. Domfay, quick touch. Bit of trickery by Carl Taylor. Domfay again. Scrappy edge to this contest at the moment as Hume City look to play the ball out wide, and in space is Michael Domfay in a foot race with Alessi. Dealt with it well, the New South Welshman. Able to get it clear. But not get as far as Hassan Jallo. And he'll win the ball back. Well, Hassan Jallo, the well-travelled Hassan Jallo, formerly of Glindavink, HK Kopovogs, and several other clubs in the Icelandic regions. I wonder if he came across Oliver Keeler. We'll get into that later. Also spent time with Rydalmere, Marconi, Altodo Magic, Blacktown City, RPL Leichhardt, and here home at Dandenong Thunder, where he's been an outstanding candidate for signing of the season across the competition. Mehmeti feeds it in field for Romanovsky. Ford back to Romanovsky. Thunder ball still yet again. Mehmeti rolls it back for Van Amerongen. The Thunder with the majority of the proceedings at the moment. Taylor comes short. Down that left flank. Neat piece of work from Taylor. He's looked to enter the penalty area. Jallo was held. Constandelos says there's nothing going there. It will be a goal kick.
So, shouts for a penalty down at that end of the ground. In the first half, with Hume wanting a penalty, but at the time did Castandelos point to the spot. Going over there, Salamovsky will win that free kick. Short. Jimmy Young. Playing like an 11th outfielder there. Taylor. Norman. It's out of play. The throw by Romanovsky. Forwards. Out of play. To Pele. He lost it. Clark rolls it across. Ashida, central, shooting and forcing a save. Out of Damon Camilleri.
That was well done by Yuki Uchida, getting into space. It's very hard to fashion one en route from that angle, but Damon Camilleri's done very well, all things considered. Young keeper at that, and it's a focal opportunity for him as the ball sprayed out wide towards Isgrove. Is mainly making neat work of it and draws a foul against the Welshman.
Just on Damon Camilleri, he doesn't turn 21 while November. There's not too many people who have kept in between the sticks at his age in this league.
Lucas Trenkovsky has something to say about that. Preston
I said
Lions
there
keeper.
wasn't many. I didn't say there wasn't any.
Very true.
Trenkowski was much younger when he made his debut.
Yes, at Hume City, actually.
Correct.
And of course now in goals for Preston.
Yeah, there's certainly been a few, but it's not a regular thing we see goalkeepers at that age. Top level Victorian football is rolled forward to Jallo on the turn, received from Rashida. It was blocked and almost broke kindly for them. It's not been dealt with from a Hume City point of view. Knocked away. Romanovsky tried something. Hume City now with numbers back.
I'm not sure if I've ever heard a cry for shoot from a megaphone, but if you can hear it on the far side, it's very much obvious as to what the outcomes the Thunder fans desire at the moment. Shoot at any possible angle as they win the foul on this near side.
Jamie Young, vehement as ever, calling for Kyle Taylor to play it early. Back to Young, former England youth international. Jamie Young.
Oh, unbelievable.
Messi but given away. Grove now more central than we've seen it earlier on in this game. It's over for Dunphy. He's right hand side. That's Bella even.
And you mentioned Jamie Young and his extensive career. It's almost like he's played through two generations. And when he was in that England youth team, he was once involved in the squad with Stuart Downing. Yes.
Ex-Blackburn Stuart Downing.
That's Stuart Downing.
There you go.
Had to mention that for Ollie, of course.
I'll get the Blackburn references in. Line from Messinanetti for Shallow. By Ashcroft. If there was more Thunder fans here, there might be a few more Bronx cheers the way of Harry Ashcroft. There hasn't been any tonight.
He's been
on the free kick though.
He's been immense really for Hume City ever since he arrived there, and had a great stint at this club. He spent 3 seasons at George Andrews from 2021 to 2023, and of course no finals campaign, so that's a very poor pass from the aforementioned Harry Ashcroft. Commentator's curse. See a bit of that this season in the NPL. Debele looking to weave past Mohamed Salamovsky. He's still held by Salamovsky, and eventually brings him to ground, and the free kick then awarded by Terry Constandelos. One of the most obtuse angles we'll see a free kick be taken from this season. Salamovsky, despite the man who committed the foul has perhaps ended up second best here.
Neil, you talk about commentators' curses. Well, I've got a break in play. Seen in the NPL Victoria, seen in the A-Leagues as well. If we find some of your work on the collective. Posted earlier on today of some of your work last week that got the commentators' curse branding on it on the collective channels.
Oh, yes. And also, I remember earlier on in the season, Port Melbourne had a home game. And I was praising the goalkeeping awareness from Alex Condolian. And then he let in a goal almost about directly from the corner in that second play. He was clipped up by one of the Victorian football channels as well. So I've not quite had the luck. I apologise to every player or team that I've provided the misfortune of giving them praise, and then of course they've done the complete opposite. So I guess putting attention back to this contest, Ollie, I think it has been a more energetic spark from the Thunder, but Hume City just, I feel, have to get that one goal and then sit back and compose the pressure. But for the time being, will be the set piece delivery from Enes Yildiz. And here is Yildiz, fashion low, Debele, and Carl Taylor win the ball on that occasion and fashion the ball long. Michael Lazarus giving chase, and Hassan Jallo has got so much energy to play the ball forward, and Camilleri comes short. Thunder mounting the press. Reardon forces it out wide, and play continues, and eventually adjudged to be offside. Well, that is a contentious call amongst the Hume City coaching staff. And I think we will see a yellow card to Jamie Young. That's an interesting call. I'm very confused, to be honest with you. Maybe a bit of back chat, it seems, most likely. In fact, definitely, because I can't think of anything else.
Jamie Young was making the call that the ball had been kicked away. Maybe he was asking for a yellow card for that. It's always dangerous when you're asking for a yellow card. I'm not sure if he was, but by the letter of the law, if you ask for a yellow card, you should be then booked. As Reardon sends that into the grandstand here, where the atmosphere is being almost solely created by the megaphone.
It's one of the most amusing things I've ever seen in Victorian football. Just one individual barking on a megaphone. I've seen drones at this venue being told to go away. I don't know why. I've seen megaphones. I've seen loud music before the game. There's two speakers are situated next to us, and it's almost deafening noise at some points.
Loud music might be underselling you.
Oh. Seen an automated message come from the loudspeaker as well. This ground is Victorian footballing heritage.
It's good fun when you come here, isn't it?
It's always good fun, Ollie.
It's generally better when you find goals, but we haven't had any of them. Violesi is Grove towards Bingham. He couldn't keep hold, and then went in with a challenge. Heading is Sevim Ismaili. And this Dandenong Thunder crowd, not as plentiful in number as we've maybe seen across the season or over the years, but you can never ever deny the passion.
No, and it's been a resurgent season from Dandenong Thunder supporters. I mean, I've spoken to a few supporters in recent weeks, and they mentioned that the match against Preston was the biggest crowd he's ever seen at George Andrews Reserve. And this is coming from a man who supported the club for over 10 years, in his early 20s. And you really feel as if they're building something here, Ollie. And if they can push on in the finals or get a home final, I don't want to think as if how many cars can fit into this facility, to be honest with you. And it's truly tremendous to see.
Throw here for Hume. Janice Yildiz, also formerly of these parts. Now with Hassan Jallo, who tried to roll it down the line for Rashida. Play for another throw. Jeremy Young. Taylor.
Mohamed Salimovsky into midfield now. Well, this is fascinating.
That's where he's played the majority of his senior career, so it's not too much of a surprise he's in there. If that's the move to help spark something. Good play by Godfrey DeBelle, who has been impressive.
For sure, and I think has that blistering pace on the counter. They just have to feed the ball into him in the right spaces, because he will be the difference maker tonight.
Had the consistent run of it in terms of piecing 90 minutes together, but it's his 10th appearance of the season. And you can see why you even fancied him from the Gold Coast Knights off the back of some of his play, including right there. So it's the left-hand side for Dennis Yildiz. See from Lazaris. Early ball. Isn't fully dealt with. Ford will pick up the pieces here for Hume. We approach the hour mark. Ford into the box. Joseph Ford. It's blocked away. O'Kane. Isgrove towards Ford. Didn't get through for him. He's not sent long and away.
Now it's Hume's time to play sureties over this outcome. A vital result in the offing. Able to secure victory away from home. As Bingham is brought to ground, this presents a focal and intriguing opportunity. It looks as if no card has been awarded just yet, according to Terry Constandelos.
So a few yellow cards now. DeBelle in the first half. Young and there Daniel Alessi.
I just feel like this game hasn't fully erupted as of yet. By way of exacerbated tension, things of that ilk. But this, the focal moment, Denise Yildiz standing over this one. Byproduct of this football club, Yildiz towards the back stick. Isgrove is there, towards the byline. Drives in field, shifted towards the back stick. Alessi off the line. O'Kane, can he pick up the scraps? Is Josh O'Kane. Rolls it out centrally. Yildiz, and overhit. Still bouncing ball in the mixer. It's Bingham. It's Taylor. It's Yildiz again. And it's fashioned over the bar. But that was an incredible goalmouth clearance from Daniel Alessi. Remarkable.
Goal saving as well, that was in. If not for Daniel Alessi. Finally, we've got some action in the technical area, and you were telling me earlier about Oliver Kellart, who we'll see will throw to a stat of yours that you found an incredible one.
Yes.
From one of his former managers. We'll wait until he comes on for that. We'll also see Rob Harker. We talked a little bit earlier on about players who played in Premier League academies. Rob Harker, formerly of Burnley. And Jallo on this right-hand side will send it in early, and it was claimed by Camilleri.
Attacking minded change. As if you don't have enough attackers, bring on two more.
We were able to mention Blackburn with Stuart Downing, and if there is any Burnley fans watching this, we can just put the balance out there for both sides of the East Lancashire derby.
Yes.
It's header one. Messi up there again. Taylor in the middle of midfield. Gives it over. Romanovsky rolling forwards. Clark. There's space for him to get a cross in. Romanovsky shouts for offside, fall on deaf ears. Romanovsky looking for the cross. It's behind for a corner. Thunder with a few of these opportunities earlier on. Haven't been able to capitalise from them yet, but another opportunity for them to do so here.
Rob Harker has been very much in and out of the team with injury and what have you. 25 years of age, formerly of Halifax Town last season. National League 23-24 campaign, just for clarity. And 9 goals for them at a very high level, to be brutally honest with you.
It helped Halifax get to the National League playoffs in that particular season. Corner here for Taylor. Sent in, flicked on, and in! And it's the Thunder who strike first. Daniel Clark unchecked to the front post. And it's a Thunder lead here at George Andrews.
Daniel Clark. Retirement doesn't faze him. Can easily come back into teams and be a potent threat. And he's done that yet again from a corner. He did it against Avondale 2 months ago. He's done it tonight. And what a way to take the lead. And will force much needed changes from Hume City. Michael Domfe making way. Rob Harker coming on. Oliver Killer coming on. As well, off coming Josh Bingham. Now is the chance for Hume City to show what they're made of. Are they a finals team? We will soon find out. And Oliver Killer, I must say, this presents an enormous opportunity for him. Himself also playing in Iceland with the likes of Keflavik and Ajorvik, and with 10 caps for Sri Lanka and 2 goals. He was called up by Amir Alagic a few years ago himself, just to add a bit more spice. A former Dandenong Thunder player in 1995 and 1996. I'm not sure if they'd had any chats about Dandenong Thunder, but for now, it is Hume City's chance to capitalise, or Thunder's, to mount more pain upon the side from Broadmeadows. Selamovsky out wide, Uchida. It's Uchida. Isgrove providing chase. Under force back. Alessi. Young. Out wide. Space to roam for the home side. Ismaili, Uchida. Going to drive inside potentially. Fashion towards the back stick. In fact, it took a deflection and out for another corner. Momentum switches carry so much importance, Oli. The Thunder have taken this game very much into their own hands.
That Clark header, by the way, his 4th goal of the season. In appearance number 15. Good to see him back playing regular football this season.
Sure. Rejuvenation. He's all of 35 years old. It's remarkable, this output from this level. Mehmeti. Driven in low. Clark again. Will it sit for Uchida? It doesn't quite on the first occasion. And it's still find its way towards the box. Taylor. The attempted outside of the foot pass. Forced down the edge of the area. The strike on goal, and Camilleri palms it away. Another corner ensuing. Now Mehmeti to take yet again. It's been a barrage in this last 10 minutes or so. 67 minutes gone here at George Andrews Reserve. Massim Mehmeti to take. Mr. Dandenong Thunder. Over 100 appearances for this club. It's fashioned in centrally. Debele there to pick up the scraps. Alessi! Full for Uchida. It doesn't. Harker gets it clear. And crisis not quite yet averted. A slip on the ball. Van Amerongen to Uchida. And we can breathe a sigh of relief. Camilleri comes out to claim, but Hume will look to counter. Here's O'Kane. Forces it left. Debele. Now Reardon. He's got Isgrove waiting on this near side. After an exquisite touch of true poise and feeds it towards Oliver Keeler. A couple of step-overs across the face of goal. A corner for Hume City. The tall timber awaits Harry Ashcroft. Will arrive into the box. Yildiz to take, it looks like. Usually it's Birkan Kilda. Yildiz. Short. Debele. Skovri Debele. Towards the back stick. The header from Reardon. Still not yet cleared. And the Thunder eventually clear it out of harm's way. Lazarus will have a second bite of the cherry. It looks like they will, but that was severely overhit. But it drops nicely for Aaron Reardon. And that will be a goal kick.
Over 20 minutes of the 90 to play, the Thunder with a lead. There's Mehmeti. With the back flick and does get through to Camilleri. Zaris. Ashcroft. Forwards. For Lazaris. Space for the inside to move forward here. Domfet. For O'Kane. For forwards. It's Grove to his right if he wants, and he does. Boyd is Grove to shape a cross in to the middle, not fully dealt with, and Debele was there waiting for it. It was taken away from him as Ashcroft marauders forwards. Gives it short. Debele first time. Rather tame. Easy for Jamie Young to deal with.
The wind has certainly played a factor. The question is, can the Thunder do one better? All about put this game to bed. Kyle Taylor, Romanovsky, Van Amerongen, and Jamie Young is going to come and play as another number 6. I wonder if he might get caught off his line. We'll see. For the time being, Thunder looking comfortable. Selimovsky. Van Amerongen. Mehmeti. Central left is Kyle Taylor. Now back to Mehmeti. Here is Van Amerongen. And the pattern continues. Van Amerongen. Young picks out Uchida with ease, but he goes to ground. Debele, I think, wanted to pick off Jamie Young off his line. Second ball drops for Isgrove. He capitalises in his spaces. It's Isgrove. It's Harker. It's a great save, but the offside flag is drawn. That was it for Hume City. And the second balls, a focal point in this contest, nearly came back to bite them. Jamie Young, despite that save not counting, has injected a bit of energy into this contest. Romanovsky chats it down. Space to work with. Isgrove picking the pocket of Mersim Mehmeti. Second ball drops for Uchida. Jallo in space. Can he find the poise? It's Yuki Uchida on his left, driving into the area. Uchida, not quite. It's cleared by Hume. And I think we might have an injury concern as well. Looks like as if it's Harry Ashcroft too. That's, it might be Ashcroft. I don't think it's
Lazarus.
Michael Lazarus, actually.
Used to be a shame if Michael Lazarus is forced off here. 17 years of age. It's like a long career in football ahead of him. Treatment here, Michael Lazarus, a former youngster at South Melbourne. Playing senior football for Hume, so he's been a part of some big Victorian clubs. Looks as though Hume will make a change here. We're going to see Obieze come on here for Hume. Not sure if Lazarus was in the thinking for this change originally. It looks as though he will come off.
And what a story. I mean, for Obieze, the teenager, and his formative careers spent in Wodonga, all the way in regional Victoria. It's unbelievable, to be honest. And spent some time at the Western United Academy as well. And, well, he's had a few opportunities this season. I'm sure this will be one to savour if he can keep his side in this contest, just about.
Yeah, so he was a former junior at Murray United.
To the surprise of no one, of course. A few players coming out of Murray United. Alec Mills as well, is at Preston? Sorry, is that St Albans, should I say, was at Preston last season.
Tom Youngs spent some time there. Lang Lawrence has been a few out of Victorian football, not that Tom Youngs was a graduate of Murray United's academy or anything, but has played for the club, has played for a goal kick. Final 15 we're into of the night here at George Andrews. Had a couple of rolls at the dice that haven't quite worked as of yet. Still time for them to find something.
Rob Parker is the man that you have to get the ball onto in space. He is one that I just feel needs a consistent run of games to find the requisite quality on goal. Of course, did score against Port Melbourne earlier on in the season, and many thought that would be the fire starter for him. It just quite hasn't worked out as of yet. And Hume City conceded the throw here through safety Ismaili. Jallo back to goal. Eze there for support. Throw on that far side, looking to do their due diligence. It's Debele up against Yuki Uchida. Harker. And I think the ball went out of play. It did. Thunder ball on the far side. So we will return back to that far corner. Action not quite in abundance in those areas, but Hume eventually win it back. Eze. Selimovsky. That's well done by Eze. He's going to stride all the way forward, past halfway, and find Rob Harker, who goes to ground, and Terry Constandelos will go into his book and award a yellow card. The travelling Hume fans seem to like that decision. Well, another set piece from fairly deep. And it looks like Lloyd Isgrove will be the individual instructed to take this one. Well, he scored indirect free kicks at this venue on the only time he's actually travelled to this venue, as far as I'm aware. Can he do it from a long-range set piece? It's flat. It's Ashcroft. It is Jamie Young's now.
So still the Thunder lead. It was Clark's goal from the corner that is in this position. You see a change here for the Thunder. Quinn is going to come on here for the host as Harker tried the first time ball, and I'm wrong and we'll send that away. It's Grove. Let's keep the ball in play. Slipping and sliding for a second. Harker in for Lloyd. It's Grove. Well wide, and he wasn't happy with that. There's a change here for Hume 2. And that's Oysal is going to come on. It's Daniel Clark is going to come off. His goal, the telling involvement. As he walks off. As it stands, he walks off a match winner. DeBelle, who will have his place taken by Oysal, who is on for the final 10 and change of the 90.
I'm not quite sure about that change. If he can't get through a full 90, I understand, but he's the only real player that's provided a spark, more or less. But Mehmet Oysal is, of course, well, Mr. Hume City at this point. Of course, has played much of his career within this youth system, and it's broken into the first team, it has to be said, and formerly off Melbourne City's academy at some point, and well as Pascoe Vale. But just a case of, can Dandenong Thunder hold on? Last week they were in this similar position, and they collapsed with ease. But tonight, more familiar surrounds. I think the outcome should reflect what the scoreline is at the moment. Is Grove looking to nutmeg Jocka Kuyan. Forward, Kuyan. O'Kane. Jallo. Kuyan. Just misplaced the pass to find Jay Romanovsky. The thing's actually been put in, dare I say, a striking position. Oh, that's certainly a tactical change to play Jay Romanovsky off top. Maybe Adam Piddick has seen him in training and he's performed some well-positioned strikes on goal. I'm not sure.
Well, that's the switch, isn't it? It's a positional switch, having a Quen on the pitch. Well, Romanovsky forward as Eze. It's away from Solomovsky, and because it's Grove, feint across, and drove infield is in the box. You can tell towards the back post, looking for John Fay. Didn't get him on the volley. That one was blocked. Some hit there, but Sal saw it blocked. And it's rolling board here for Taylor. Shake kindly for Rashida. Reardon. Is Grove taking over? Sal. It's been a late show for Hume against the Thunder on a number of occasions in recent times. They're going to have to find something special again here. Is Grove. And trying from deep. Eze. Work from Obieze. Rolls it left. And Sal is offside. That is frustrating from a Hume point of view.
That's a coach killer. That is most definitely a coach killer. They've had a good frame of mind going forward in the last 10 minutes. And a yellow card are seemingly going to arrive towards the direction of Lloyd Isgrove. I think, I'm not sure actually. I thought he was going to give a yellow card to Adam Piddick, to be honest. Terry Constandelos, but taken quickly. Taylor bodied off the ball and will win the foul. Will Josh O'Kane. And all men up forward for Hume City. it will be certainly a very central delivery. Shades of potentially Cristiano Ronaldo against Portsmouth back in the day. I'm not sure from this deep position.
Too far for Isgrove to think about.
No, it looks like he'll definitely look for a target. He does so. It's Harker. Will it drop cleanly for him? It doesn't quite. And the offside flag is raised again. Wowee. That has been the one means of frustration for Hume City. That damned offside flag.
Thunder fans seeing the funny side down below, as they would with the scoreline the way it is. Sal, there's it. Away from Ashida. Ball towards Harker. Ball there to be won. Thunder able to keep it. Ball towards Jallo. Ashida. Here's the makeshift striker Jay Romanovsky getting after that one. Not something I thought I'd see when I woke up this morning. Jay Romanovsky playing up top, but it's the beauty of NPL Men's Victoria football. Isgrove arcs one down the line. Kellard is onside. First touch in field. When plays it out of play. Kellard, Sri Lanka international. The Thunder have got 2 on their books themselves. Wade Decker. That's Suresh, neither involved tonight. Setting from forwards. And away. Dramatic stuff from Ashcroft. And as far as Romanovsky, who's got a bit of space. And Ashida to his right. And Jallo to his left. He's offside.
Adam Pittock is incredibly upset and Hassan Jallo for not tracking his run correctly. And it looks like the offside flag has been the most integral contributor in the last 5 minutes of this fixture. Romanovsky heads forward. Jallo, can he bypass Camilleri? He gets to it first, does the young keeper. Yildiz with a task to do. Oysal. The bypass Ismaili and did well, but lost the ball. It's Oysal interchanging it again with Yildiz. And Alessi is going to send that right into the Kamil Eksepi grandstand. In fact, not into it. He's gone over the top. Has nearly hit the signage. Throw in taken. Jallo on the ground. Wanting to require attention. Constandella says, hang on, just play. Isgrove drifting infield. Laterally okay. It's back to Lloyd Isgrove. And it hits the back of Hassan Jallo. And Hume City forced to try again. Aaron Reardon now. Slotting into centre back. Eze. Central left-hand side. Further left. Yildiz. Taking their time upon the build-up. Hume City FC. Harry Ashcroft. Drifting into midfield. Has found Isgrove all the way on that far side. Fashion in. It's Harker. It drops for Yildiz. And that was the chance. We've seen him hit them from that range at this facility. But not quite. This time, Liram El-Mazi will make his introduction now.
There was one down the other end of the ground that I remember he hit against Yildiz a couple of years ago now. Might have been Altona, if I remember correctly. Or Malvern City it was, my apologies. I remember I was here for it. I remember I saw it happen. A lot's happened since.
I remember your voice on the
It
goal,
was a couple of years ago now. I can hardly remember what happened last week.
And this will be the change. Liram El-Mazi coming on and off coming Hassan Jallo. So a defensive-minded change, if any.
Yeah, that's about the opposite as like for like as you can get. Cards coming on. Balls for Hassan Jallo, who didn't add to his 9 goals in the league this season tonight, but still good shift regardless from the Thunder front man. Ashcroft looking long. Header. Mametti. Nicely like that as Kellon makes his way down the right. It's fouled by Aquen, who will be carded. Kick here for Hume City. Dennis Yildiz be the mastermind against his former club. It's the final minute of the 90. Yildiz, left-footed. The acrobatic effort in there comes to nothing, and the Thunder can get it clear. We're about to move into 4 added minutes. The Thunder happy with that. Hume would have wanted north of that, but doesn't look like they're going to get it.
Looks like Harry Ashcroft really wants to try the overhead. He did a clearance earlier on in the game from that position. Harker looking to retrieve. Drops foot with Chitter. He goes to ground. No foul awarded by Constantelos. Thunder get it clear. I thought it might have potentially clipped the head of Demon Camilleri, and Hume City urged to continue. Looks like we'll have the change now for the home side. Mitch Rook coming on. Ex-Bethany Greens and Landon Jaffers. He's not had much of the ball this season. And he'll receive a very integral 4 minutes. And massive, massive round of applause for the man he will be replacing. Muhammad Selamovsky. Kuyan. Ford. So much pressure applied, and Camilleri has to get it clear, and he completely failed in execution. And the pressure mounting from the home side yet again. Oysal looks to weave away. He can't do so. And a massive roar from the Thunder fans. They will certainly be within the chasing pack of Heidelberg United and Avondale in the coming weeks as we enter the second half of the NPL Victoria season. But can Hume City find one last attempt, one final moment? And he shanked the clearance again as Reardon, and Kyle Taylor might look to capitalise. Complete head loss from Hume City defenders at the moment. Ismaili. O'Kane looks to win it back for Hume. He does so, but it's well done by Romanovsky. He will look to go to his favourite position, the corner flag. Of course, deep into stoppage time, but Hume City get it away. This might be the final opportunity for the away side, and it's fashioned away. Players brought forward. Yildiz. Reardon. It's Harry Ashcroft. It's forced long. Out wide. Isgrove. It's Rob Harker on the turn! Rob Harker! The Englishman to George Andrews has produced a stoppage time equalizer! Cue Bedlam in the Hume City technical area. What an unbelievable scene we have here. An hour drive away from Broadmeadows to Dandenong. Rick Marchioli's men have pulled off the near impossible. Deep into stoppage time. It's Rob Harker who asserts his authority on this fixture. Wowee!
What a finish. Wonder if he learned that one at Gawthorpe, at Burnley's training ground. What a finish. Just the wherewithal to hit that. So many wouldn't have even tried it. Looked like Thunder would be leaving here with 3 points. And now it's looking like it'll only be one. Is there time for either side to win it? We've said that it's been late heroics for Hume in matches past between these two. And another moment of magic from someone in a Hume shirt against the Thunder. Is there time? Is Maley trying to get it forward? Time for one last roll of dice for Thunder. Septimus Maley. Machida inside the box. Ball high in the air. Yildiz wanted to watch it go. Spun back in. Ball sent in, looking for Rashida, didn't find him. Is there a chance for Hume City to break? Harker with the first time ball. On for Lloyd Isgrove. He couldn't, could he? Lloyd Isgrove. Down the right. Ball is towards the middle. It's flicked on and not through. Sent away by Rook. Kept alive by Mercer Mehmeti. As it stayed in play for Ford, who got around Mercer Mehmeti. Joseph Ford. He'll send it central. Just to Dambella and Mamazi. To Eze inside the box. To the byline. Into the breadbasket of Jamie Young. And that will do.
What a night.
2 points dropped for the Dandenong Thunder, who right to the last looked like they might take all 3 points. Rob Harker, the former Burnley Academy man, with the equaliser and the final say. A wonderful strike from well outside the box into the bottom right corner. And the spoils between these two are shared. It was one that Adam Piddick and his crew will rue. Rick Marchioli might see that as a galvanising point on the road and about as far away from Broadmeadows as you can get in this NPL Men's Victoria universe. Full time here at George Andrews Reserve. It's finished. Dandenong Thunder 1, Hume City 1, Neil Simons.
Immense mental fortitude to come from a position that the game, the outcomes were almost just about certain. Dandenong Thunder were going to sit back, compose, soak up pressure, and for the second time in 2 weeks, they've dropped 3 points. It could very well be 6 points from these two games against Green Gully.
Well, they've still taken one here.
Well, they've taken one, and they could have had 5 extra points. That could very much be the difference between themselves and Heidelberg and Avondale up top, but the ray of sunshine that was beaming down on George Andrews, it just seems as if that is beginning to slowly fade.
Just quickly, Michael Lazaris not looking in the best way as he moves over towards the dugout. That's one to watch for the weeks to follow. He's really struggling to put weight on that left foot, which is a horrible sign.
Oh, yes.
As he makes his way off. But
well, we wish him all the best, and of course, we've got the likes of Aishan Ishak in the wings if they want to give him an opportunity. And wow, what a night, Ollie. It's been a pleasure to do it with you once again, and I'm sure the fallout will be foreseen in the weeks to come, especially for Dandenong Thunder. Massive clash against Whittlesea to potentially book themselves in round 7 of the Doherty Cup. I've been Neil Simons. He's been Oliver Walkerpeel. It's been a pleasure to have your company tonight. Plenty of NPL action to follow on Sunday, and we'll see you very soon. Monday.